Oh, what up, Sci-Fam? It's your boy Nickel, and today we're going to learn about sleep. So, my advice to you is to follow your dreams. So, title your page, Follow Your Dreams, and we're going to dig into circadian rhythm and different types of sleep and see what happens when you don't have sleep. So, let's get started. So, circadian rhythm is our first kind of vocabulary term here on this page, circadian rhythm. So your circadian rhythm, circadian, is basically what happens throughout a day, about a 24-hour cycle. So it's your body's internal, what we could say is our internal clock. We don't have an actual clock, but there's several things that happen on a 24-hour schedule, and these are synchronized with environmental cues. So for example, when you get home, sometimes all of a sudden you become super hungry because you know that you're home and you didn't have food at school. So just by getting into a new environment at your home, your body realizes, oh, this is where we get food, yay, and you all of a sudden get hungry every day you get home from school. If that happens on a daily basis, that would be considered a circadian rhythm. Just like oftentimes at night, we start to get tired and we go to sleep during the night and we wake up in the morning. So sleep is another example of a circadian rhythm. Even some people's poop schedule, they poop at the same time every day. That would be another circadian rhythm. Now, some of those environmental cues, some things that can cause your body's internal clock to tell you, hey, it's time to do this thing, are things such as maybe the light. So like when the sun rises in the morning, it tells your body, hey, it's time to get up, get out of bed. But that could also be influenced or affected by things like light bulbs, or even like your phone's screen, the light on that. It can trick your body into not wanting to go to sleep at night because your body thinks it's light time, it's daytime because it's light. Another thing is temperature. So I'm going to draw here a thermostat. And temperature. It's actually, if when it gets cooler at night, that also is another thing that causes us to say, hey, it's time to go to sleep, and that coolness helps us sleep. Another environmental cue could be some food. So I'm going to draw here a piece of pizza. I love some pizza. Instead of writing pizza, I'm going to write food, because food is another thing that can cause our body to go through that daily practice of something. So maybe it is the pooping after eating dinner, maybe you're or maybe before eating breakfast or after breakfast, or some type of food that you eat might cause that to happen. And then the last thing is the actual time of the day. So like in the morning, you might want to eat breakfast, or in the afternoon, you might want to eat lunch, and that's a circadian rhythm because it's something to do on a daily basis that is governed by the time of the day. So circadian rhythms are just anything that happens on a daily basis, but the one that we're going to focus on is our sleep. Our sleep cycle is a circadian rhythm. So if we look at what needs, the most important thing here is that, we always hear about how much sleep do you need? Well, as a teenager, teens need 9 to 10 hours of that good old sleep per night. 9 to 10 hours. That means, if you go to sleep at 10 p.m., then you should be able to sleep from 10 to 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 a.m. So 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. is 9 hours of sleep. Maybe you need to go to bed a little bit earlier, though, if you have to give it up earlier for school. So it's important to try to find those 9 to 10 hours of sleep per night, or maybe even you could do some naps during the day to help supplement. But what happens, and the reason you want to get as much sleep at night as possible and not just nap all the time, is because there's two different stages of sleep that happen. And these only happen, or they typically happen, when you have a big chunk of sleep. And so one of these types of sleep is called REM sleep. And actually that stands for rapid eye movement. Because actually when your eyes are closed, your eyeballs are twitching around as though things are happening. And then the other type of sleep is in REM sleep. And guess what? It's still rapid eye movement, but the N stands for non. So it's non-rapid eye movement. This is when your eyes are calm, when your eyes are closed. So there's two different things that happen when we sleep. This is pretty crazy. You enter REM sleep cycles, followed by NREM sleep cycles, followed by a REM sleep cycle, followed by NREM sleep cycles. And as your body goes throughout these cycles, our body is actually doing some repair. Maybe you've heard this, like sleep helps repair. Well, more specifically, when you're in those REM sleep cycles, your body is processing the emotions from that day or maybe from the week. But it literally allows your body to process emotions that you feel during the day while you're sleeping, which helps reduce anxiety and stress. And it also helps solidify your memories and your learning. So instead of cramming before a test, it actually provides more help for you, and you'll do better is if you get a good night's sleep before a test. You still have to study a little bit, but by studying, REM sleep helps solidify all that stuff that you learned in your brain. If you just stay up all night, you're not getting these beneficial enhancements from sleeping, and you might not be as stressed. You might be able to process emotions in the morning when you have to take the test, and hopefully your memory is solidified during that sleep so that your learning is also solidified and you can show up to the test with your best ability. So when we solidify memories and learning, really what we're doing is we're pruning the gray matter. So in REM sleep is when we prune that gray matter, and we also strengthen our white matter during REM sleep. Now you might think, well, if we do all this during REM sleep, why do we need NREM sleep? What is that doing? Well, obviously it's going to strengthen something, and it strengthens NREM. It strengthens our immune system. So if you're sick, or if just to remain healthy, NREM sleep is beneficial for that reason, to help strengthen our immune system. So that's going to help us recover from illnesses or even injuries. So if you have any type of injury, NREM sleep is going to help, because NREM sleep helps repair and regenerate our tissues, our bones, and our muscles. So working out is good for muscle growth, but it's really the sleep that helps our body repair and regenerate the muscles and the tissues that are needed in order for us to become stronger. So sleep is really, really important because it helps process our emotions and it helps strengthen our body, not only in the emotional state, but also in the physical state as well. So if you don't get enough sleep, then you're going to have a decreased ability to learn, listen, concentrate, and even problem solve. So, or you could even say solve problems. Let's say that instead. Let's say, instead of problem solve, let's say and solve problems. Maybe you've experienced that before, is that it's way harder to listen to your parents and to learn in school and to concentrate on your teachers and solve complex problems with your friends and family if you don't get enough sleep. And it increases your aggression. So, people are usually way more upset if they don't get enough sleep. A lot of times we say, oh, you must have woke up on the wrong side of the bed, meaning that they're a little bit aggressive in their demeanor, and we're assuming they didn't get enough sleep. So we say, oh, you must have woke up on the wrong side of the bed. So it increases our aggression, and also your inappropriate behaviors also are more likely to increase. And it's not just for teens. This is true for anyone that doesn't get enough sleep, is that these things are going to occur. And then also it ends up causing unhealthy eating habits. So a lot of times, people might get tired and they just start shoving sugar in their bodies because their body is craving some energy, and so they're constantly eating that sugar, and we know that sugar is unhealthy. Or maybe some people start to get tired after work or something, and they start to eat a lot of extra snacks. And a lot of times when people are tired, they want to eat, and so when they go to eat, they want something quick because they don't have the patience to cook, and so they end up eating more unhealthy. So it's it's usually just the fact that, sleep makes us want to eat, and when we choose to eat when we're tired, it's usually not very healthy. And since sleep helps us with our immune system, it can also cause illness. And so if you don't sleep and you get very little sleep, then you're way more prone to get sick and injured. And actually, the Guinness Book of World Records has actually outlawed any sleep competitions, because if you don't sleep for too long, you can actually die. So make sure you get your sleep, stay healthy out there, get your sleep cycles, and as a teenager, don't forget, you need like 9 to 10 hours of sleep, more than adults do. All right, hopefully I didn't put you to sleep in this, but if you're tired, maybe it's time to take a nap. Or you should have got more sleep last night. Yeah, probably that. See ya.